Hey, it's Joshua Sorensen,
William Gaskins with Tabletop Generals.
and tonight we're going to be looking at the Dust Tactics Revised Core Set we just got in from Fantasy Flight Games. Now, it retails for $79.95, and we're just going to take our first look at what we get in the box here. But
First look is pretty awesome, I gotta say.
yeah, you want to tell us about the setting?
Okay, for those of you not familiar with the Dust setting, World War II did not end in 1945. But Operation Valkyrie, the internal Nazi coup attempt on Hitler's life, was successful in the Dust universe. And so Hitler's dead, but the war continues on. Um, there's a new energy source discovered called VK, and they use it to power combat walkers. So we're looking at, you're familiar with what steampunk is. This is kind of diesel punk. It's very World War II looking, but, you know, we've got walkers and, you know, sort of fantastic weaponry.
Giant armored death machines.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We'll show you some minis in a second.
Okay, well, let's take a look
Let's
at
do
what.
it right now, yeah.
Yeah, do it now. What comes in the box is there's two sides of this particular core set here. We got the Axis and the Allies, and each side has 5 unit cards, and the units on each side has 1 walker, a hero unit, and 3 squads of troops. And just looking at these miniatures, these are some of the most amazingly gorgeous miniatures I've ever seen. This walker came fully assembled except for these arms, which just had to pop in. No glue necessary. You didn't have to take them off of sprues and glue them together and trim off all the flash. They're just beautifully detailed. I haven't seen a single flaw in any of them. And these walkers, get this, it is fully articulated at the waist, can bend up and down. The weapon arm can move side to side.
That's the, what's that one called?
This is the Black Hawk, which is the Allies walker.
Yeah, it's the U.S.
The Scout
and then
Walker.
the Hans is the German Scout Walker. And they really did something right here because this looks like a Nazi piece of equipment. It's reminiscent of the Hanomag armored personnel carrier. You can see that you could look at that and not even know what the setting is and be like, that looks like something the Nazis would make. Same thing with the what's it called, Black Hawk?
The Black Hawk, yeah.
Just the way that the little driver's compartment is shaped is reminiscent of a Sherman tank. It looks right. It looks like if these things actually existed in the real world, this is how they would look. And then the individual minis are really cool. They're solid color, but they are fully assembled right out of the box. I mean, they're based in everything, so no cutting, no painting.
The little Hellboys unit here, one of the Allies troops, is actually even articulated at the waist. So, like even down to the squadron level, they've got such detail and attention to how these things can move, and you can place them and pose them in different ways. It's just outstanding.
I mean, it really is. It's incredible.
And they, like we've said, they do not come painted, but you could play. You could take it right out of the box, jump right into the system, and play a game with them without any additional work. Though, of course, if you are an avid wargamer, you want to.
We're gonna be painting these things, but I think we're actually gonna take it over and play tomorrow night with them fresh out of the box.
And we'll be sure to give a quick review of how the combat system works after that.
So that's really, really cool. Why don't you give us a real brief talk about the combat system now?
Okay. Well,
the whole system, the movement and everything.
Well, the rule book for the core set is just a, let's see, I think it's like 27 pages long. It's fairly brief, though they do have another core rule book out that's hardbound on their website. And it opens up, and I've been browsing through rules just very briefly, and just my first brief look is very favorable. It's very simple to understand. All the information you need is going to be on the unit cards, and it's all of the rules are going to be familiar to anybody who's played tabletop miniature wargaming or even RPG gaming to some extent. There's various things the units can do. Of course, move, attack. Units have skills. And I'm going to actually do a quick look
Yeah,
at
let's
the
take a look at
unit
that.
card. I'm going to hold it up, see if we can get just a quick view of that. Now, on the unit card, there, right at the top, there's 3 symbols. There's an arrow with a number beside it on each unit card that denotes the movement of the unit. Then the second one at the top is going to be the armor class, and the third is going to be the health points. So,
And so movement, like I've got the Hans Walker card here, and you can't see the game board, but it comes with 2 posters with maps drawn on them, and they've got squares overlaid on over the maps. And so the Hans Walker has a movement of 1. So each turn it could move 1 square. And it looks like pretty much everything that comes in the core box. Oh wait, those guys. Yeah, there's some U.S. guys that have look like jump packs of some sort,
yeah,
and so they have a movement
rocket
of 2.
with wings.
If you've seen the, and yeah, so does the U.S. Hero.
But so the movement is pretty self-explanatory. Now, during a turn, we'll go over the turn structure. You can actually take 2 movements as well. So you can do 2 movements, or a movement and an attack, or you could use one of the skills on the card as well. Now, for as far as attack goes, down at the bottom of the card, you're going to see various. It's depending on the card, several 1 to 4 rows of weapons. These are called the weapons lines in Dust terminology, and these tell you what sort of weapons the squadrons are equipped with. I'm going to just go by the Hellboy squad here again. So the Hellboy squad's got 4 weapons lines. It's got a shotgun, a flamethrower, another flamethrower, and then a knife and grenade. Now, the beautiful thing about these cards is that it's all the information you need is right in this teeny little grid. You don't need anything else to figure out how much damage it deals or how many dice you need to roll. It's all there. So each weapon is going to have right beside it the range of the weapon is going to be right beside the name, and then various columns that are each going to have tell you how much damage they'll deal against different opponents. So they've got the infantry, the vehicle, and the aircraft sections here in this chart with various numbers for the armor. Infantry armor ranges from 1 to 4, vehicle armor ranges from 1 to 7, and aircraft armor ranges from 1 to 3. And each weapon tells you how many dice you'll roll. And the dice are very simple black dice with 4 blank sides and 2 sides that have the little target symbol on them that denotes a hit when you roll. So, for example, the Hellboy Squadron, the shotgun, if it's attacking an infantry with 1 infantry armor, it would roll a full 6 dice, and for each success, it tells you how much damage the shotgun will deal. And
well, while we're doing that, let's see. I've got some German infantry right here. So why don't you say you're shooting at this Sturm Pioneer, who has a health of 5.
okay, and the health for infantry is interesting because the infantry health is going to be equal to the number of units in the squad. So there's 5 units
pioneers
in that squad, and I've got 5 units in my Hellboy squad. So
Okay.
I'm going to put them right over here on the bridge on this
On the
poster
map
here, and we're going to do a quick example of combat for you. Might as well.
Yeah, when you've got them on we have 1 square apart here. All the units, the entire unit stays in 1 square, and a walker occupies an entire square, and 2 units cannot occupy the same square. So there's no pass through or intermingling.
Unless that unit is the hero. Now, the hero is the only exception to that rule because the hero can actually be attached to a squad, which gives some bonuses, but a hero can also move through one of its own squads. But I'll get into that probably in another video when we get into some more depth. This is just going to be a quick example of combat just to see how the system works.
So we've got the Hellboys, which are the Ranger Attack Squad on the U.S., and then we've got the Sturm Pioneer, which is Sturm Grenadier Pioneer Squad on the Axis side, and they're 1 square apart here.
Okay, and so when a unit attacks, you activate a unit. Let's say I got initiative in a round, and initiative is rolled varying rules and bonuses depending on what scenario you're playing. But let's just pretend that I won the initiative.
He won the initiative. He's going to shoot at my guys.
So when you attack, your unit gets to attack with each of its weapons all in one
But
round.
for this, let's just do the shotgun, just for brevity's sake.
Okay, well, let's just take 4 away then and just pretend that there's only 1 left and they're doing their final stand
to the
death.
last man here.
Okay, so I've got one gentleman with a shotgun. He's one of my Hellboys, and he is going to attack your little Sturm Pioneer.
Yeah, who happens to have a Panzerfaust, so if he lives, I'm going to shoot an anti-tank missile at you. But why don't you shoot me with a shotgun?
Okay, so I have done everything. There's no cover bonuses here. We're just flat out basic combat. So I get to roll. What's your armor class there?
Okay, you tell me.
It's going to be a 2 there.
Oh.
It's that second number. So his armor class is 2. So just look at my quick handy-dandy chart, and I can instantly see that I get to roll 3 dice against a 2 armor class infantry. And for each success, I will deal 1 damage. So I roll my dice.
He's got 1 success.
I got 1 success.
I
deal
have
1
one
damage.
guy left. He's toast, right?
And he's toast.
Okay,
very
so that's
simple.
that simple.
Now, when you have more than 1 unit in the squad and you get dealt damage, the owner of the unit gets to choose which unit dies. So if you got
if I had a guy with a combat knife and a guy with a flamethrower, I think the guy with the combat knife is going to take one for the team before the guy with the flamethrower does.
Exactly.
That's basically it. I mean, there's a lot more detail in the rule book, but it's not complicated. We've never seen this product before tonight, and we're already basically playing the game right here on camera. This is the scenario book that comes with it. The scenario is called Victory Bridge. It's got 6 it's a campaign of 6 scenarios, and it's linear. It's got a little storyline, and the objective of the campaign is to take the bridge or to defend the bridge, depending on what side you're on. And so the first one is a recon. Second one is you can see the bridge. The third battle is charging the bridge, then you're getting counterattacked, then you're across the bridge and you're trying to seize an objective of explosives, then, you know, the last one is...
fight to the death. Whoever wins controls the bridge.
The Axis control the bridge, and the Axis have taken back the bridge, but the Axis headquarters is unaware of it and order a massive airstrike to destroy it. And each one is set up with objectives for the attacker and the defender, and allotted amount of turns, and there's little maps, how you set up the 2 posters with the maps on them, and it tells you deployment area and stuff. If you played any miniatures war games, you'll be easily familiar with that. Then the last bit of the campaign book details a little fluff about the different units. So it gives a little backstory from the perspective of a Soviet intelligence officer who apparently has been observing this epic battle for the bridge between the Americans and the Axis. So they're taking it back so the Soviets can, you know, get their grubby little paws on whatever intel they can get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's just tactics.
Yeah.
It's freaking awesome. The minis are really cool, and, you know, like we said, Josh basically just taught me how to play just now. It's that simple.
There's very few other rules. I mean, the cover, like I said, cover is very self-explanatory, familiar to anybody who's played another miniatures game. It's all simple, easy to read.
And there's a lot more minis available. This is just the stuff that comes in the starter set.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out. What is it, $79.95 for the starter set? I'm sure you'll see some battle reports from us in the future. My name is Will.
I'm Josh.
Tabletop Generals. You can find us online at www.thetabletopgenerals.com. Have a great night.